right, here we are. We are back from the Tuna Harbor Dockside Market. Hope you guys had fun checking that out. And we're basically back home. And now we've picked out the best fish we found down there, and we're stoked on is this sheepshead. And you know, we got to see it come from the fishermen to us. The way that the forehead of the fish is shaped and then its big teeth that it has is where it's gotten the nickname sheephead. But the thing that's really unique about this fish that is kind of like, you know, why I got hooked on it and why I think you know, it's an underutilized species. It's one that's caught all the time accidentally by pole and line or in traps, and it's something that is absolutely delicious, that is incredibly good for you, all the great things about fish, but just something that people don't see or don't recognize. And the reason why this fish is unique, it has a cool name, but what's really cool about it is what it eats. It has those funky teeth, and it's shaped specifically because it eats a lot of shellfish. It has those big teeth to chomp on sea urchin, on mussels, any mollusk, clams, oysters, whatever it can find. It's all, you know, rocky sea bottom is its, you know, native habitat. So what ends up happening is because it'll eat crab, it'll eat urchin, all these things, it has a very unique flavor. And the way that the fish, the flesh of the fish flakes apart, it looks like crab meat. Like if you took this next to a pink snapper or a rockfish and break the flesh apart after you've cooked it, you'll see it's flaky like crab meat. And the flavor it has a really sweet flavor, and it has a really rich flavor, especially for a white fish. Like you think if you closed your eyes, it would be like salmon almost, because it's so buttery and so rich because of its diet. So what we're trying to do is show that there's all these cool, fascinating, beautiful creatures out there that are healthy, that are abundant, that are lower on the food chain, that are smarter things for us to eat. And when we are lucky here in San Diego, but on any coastal city where you have the ability to get direct fish from a local fisherman, please do. You want to do that. You want to have pride that I've sourced this for my local community, you know? So I'm just going to do a quick how-to, super basic, on what to do with this fish when you bring it home, right? So the first thing we're going to do is scale it. This is a scaler. This is a scaler that I use butchering fish commercially, like at the Tuna Harbor Dockside Market when you're doing 1,000 pounds of fish a day. This thing is available anywhere. You can get it any grocery store, online, any bait and tackle shop, any sporting goods store, and it's cheap. It's literally, I think, 99 cents, you know? So, I mean, there's no excuse for you to be able to go get yourself a little scaler like this, keep it in your junk drawer, and pull it out every time you bring a fish home. The next thing we're gonna do is scale these guys. So if you can see in there, we have the fish just laid back down in the bag, and it's really easy. The scales lay down from the tail of the fish towards the head. So you're just gonna go in here, hold it down, make a little bit of room for yourself, and just start scaling away. So that's what it looks like, scaled. And then we can just rinse it with a hose real quick. So now that we're here, we've scaled the fish. And if you want to, you're really gonna just need a nice knife, some knife that you're comfortable with, and a little hand towel so you can hold the fish. But you can go through with your knife and just give it a little scrape and get any scales that you missed. The main reason why you're scaling it is just for cleanliness, you know, that you don't want to have a dirty fish on a dirty cutting board, especially we're going to be doing ceviche, which is a raw presentation. So scaling the fish down is basically our way of getting it clean and knowing that we're going to have nice, clean, and good raw fish for our ceviche. So I'm going to fillet this guy, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the stomach, right? We're going to open up the stomach and we're going to take out all of the visceral organs, all the goodies inside. So we're going to come from the belly here, we're going to start here, and we're going to go through between these pectoral fins and stop right up here so that we can get open and into the cavity. And then yeah, so going in here, I put the knife here, I tilt my knife, instead of just sticking straight into the fish, I turn my knife at an angle so when I go in, I basically am staying really shallow not to damage the inside of the fish. So I've gone here, across, through, and up here into the back of it. And I'm gonna clean all these out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I just use my towel to keep it so I can get a good handle on the fish. I'm gonna go up here behind the gills. There's a gill plate here. You know, you have the pectoral fin. This is really good eating, so we don't want to waste any of it. But we're going to take this off, basically go in behind the gill plate. You'll feel it's a little firm, but there's a little hole right here where you can go forward and down to a soft spot. So you're going to just go in forward and then down towards the soft spot. You can feel where it's hard and then soft. Okay. So you're basically halfway through. Now we're just gonna go do that on the same thing on the other side. All right, lift up the gill. This is the gill plate, gills. You want to meet up with the side that you just did. Here, so we're gonna come down, go through here, and then we're gonna come down. I separate the gills here out of the bottom. There's a little tissue that connects the gills. Right there. You want to make sure you come out of the bottom. Like that. Do that to the other side. That's free. Make sure that the gills are free. Then I just grab it and pull the body with one hand and the head with the other and give it a twist. Alright, and the next thing I do is take the fillet off. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go here and go here to the spine, right? And I'll come through and make sure that it's connected around here, and then I'm going to turn it from here to here, and then I'm going to go from the tail to here. I lift up the fillet, and we're just going to go right here, right along the fins. Just going to break the skin, and then go back and follow that same line, and just keep your knife pressed down against the bones and pull it towards you. So what we're doing is we lift up here where we cut through the belly. We got all the stuff out. And then what you do is you hold it firmly. You just pull through your knife here and pop through the skin. Then once you've popped through the skin, you make sure that your knife's pressing down onto those bones, onto the cage. And then you just put the knife through and pull it towards you, keeping a little bit of pressure down that way towards the bone. Then you can go back up. This is a little tissue that connects the belly. It holds the belly in place. So you can just kind of put your knife through it and give it a little pop. That way you can continue up, and you're just going to press forward until you feel the spine, and then again pull the knife towards you. Right? That's basically our little halfway point. Then I take it and I'll now have the head towards me, going towards the tail, and I'll hold it firmly in place. This is the head and there's the spine, and so you can start anywhere. You can use the fins here as a guide if you want, and just kind of break the skin. See how the skin kind of gives you a place to start, and then again you're just going to pull it towards you. There, you've popped it. You can see the fillet underneath the skin and where the bones are. Just pull it towards you. Alright, so now you've separated the fillet and you're going to work your way back toward the tail. There's tons of ways to do the fillet. Some people like to leave the head on and they use a different knife. This is a way that we've done it a lot for sushi, but it's a way that, you know, for somebody at home, this is a way that you can say, okay, first I do this side, and if I do that side good, then I can move to this side. And if I do this side good, then I know I'll be able to come all the way through it and get it off, like 1, 2, 3, as opposed to just wondering what's happening in there, you know? So hold it firm so it doesn't move around on you. And now you put a little pressure on it, like you're gonna lift the fish up, and you can see where it starts to split apart. And that's where you slide your knife in and just keep putting pressure down towards the bone. That sound you hear where the knife crackles, like a zipper, that's what you want to hear. That means you're as close to the bone as possible, you're not going to waste any of the meat. And then you get to the middle, and you just keep working your way forward. Then we're going to turn it one more time. We're going to be at the tail, and now we have this side done, and this side done. Now you can lift it up, and there'll just be a little piece in the middle that you're going to set free. And the fillet will just come right off. Don't squeeze it, don't be mean to it, keep it gentle and lift it up. And then all you're gonna do is right here where it's still connected, you're just gonna follow it and kind of encourage it to release itself off of the fillet. Then right here, there's gonna be some belly bones, right? So then you can, there's two ways to do it. You can hold it down firm, you know, you can lift up the fillet and go in from behind, and that's that sound where you're letting it You're just breaking the bones. Same thing, I repeat the process. I flip it over to make it easier to start. A lot of people want to have the fish flipped up so they can see their knife going through the bones, but I want to get a good start and make sure, especially as a beginner, if you flip the fish over and put it so it's all flat on the same side, then you can see exactly where you're going to start and make sure that you stay close to the bones, or it's close to the fins on this when you start on each side. You see the tail tapers down and there's a little bit of flesh right here on the top, and then you want to aim for here. You want to draw a line from the belly here to the end of the tail. So I'll start up here. And yeah, if you're doing this at home, if you miss some scales, fine. If you make a mistake and you cut into the fillet, don't worry about it. We're making ceviche and you're going to cut the fish into cubes anyway. So it's not the end of the world. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Yeah, I use this little towel, so if there are, scales or blood or anything that needs to be wiped up, you can just stay busy with it, stay tidy. So the same thing here, we have the kama. So I've left the kama on. A lot of people want to save this and can throw it on the grill like a little chicken wing when it's done. There's a lot of videos about that. So right now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it off just to make it easier. So you go behind the little armpit, poke a little hole, come out through the belly, and then go back with your knife towards the head of the fish. You're gonna find it's gonna run into a little bit of a bone spot. You can just take your towel, give it a little tap. Where? Into the skin. Pull it towards you. I'm just taking my time. Make sure you feel the bones. Listen for that zipper sound. Pretty good to go. You can turn it back over. You can lift up the tail, see it's starting to release. You're just going to give it a little help. So you're just looking where it's still sticking to the skeleton, and you're just going to set it free. This almost looks like the spot prawn. The flesh is like translucent. And then again, back here through these bones, just come at them from the back. You can go underneath them if you don't want to break them. Just follow them with your knife. Back to the belly. There's a little section here where there's a little bit of pin bones through the middle of the fish that will meet up here with the ribs. So one little trick is you turn the knife away from you and then go up at an angle so you can break through the bones. And they're kind of connected, so you want to release them so you can get underneath them. Take off the skin, point it away from yourself. We start at the tail. Go cut yourself a little tab to start. So just go with the knife through a little bit of the flesh and then angle it towards the front of the fish. Start to make a little forward progress. You can see that we get here to the skin. When we have the skin, then you can pull it tight. Use the towel, give yourself a better grip on the skin. Since we're doing ceviche, we're taking the skin off and we're pulling up the skin towards us and just letting the knife move back and forth. There's little pin bones cutting through. Try to be gentle with the fish. Alright, so not quite perfect, but still, I'd get yelled at if I left this much meat on the bone. We're gonna save all of this for soups anyway. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with this fillet. Cut into it and give yourself a little head start. pulling the skin tight. Lets you kind of get through the meat and then shave towards the front. And if you cut through it, it's all good. If you cut through the skin or this is hard, you can start again on the other side and start on the head. You know, if you make a mistake, don't worry. It's the best way to learn, the best way to get better, find new ways to make things easier. But pulling the skin towards you really tight is kind of the thing that saves the fish, saves the flesh, makes it easier. And you can hear those little pin bones popping as we pull through the fillet. Guys, we'll take the skin and flip it over. There you go. This is the easy part. I keep a little water nearby, just helps the knife move a little faster. So you'll feel inside here there's pin bones that are up here by where the belly was, and then they kind of disappear down here at the end. So what you want to do is cut on each side of that. So we're going to go onto one side, just pull the knife towards you, you know, and this can be any knife. This can be a Cutco knife, it can be a Hinkle, it can be a Japanese knife, it can be a fillet, you know, professional fishmonger fillet knife. It doesn't matter. But your objective is the same. You just want to take out this one little section with all the pin bones in it because you don't want pin bones in your ceviche, right? And then here it's a little thin kind of off piece. It's not perfect. So instead of just pulling, if I just go and pull it towards me, it's going to get all weird. So I'll start further back just to let my knife and push forward instead and let the knife go out and down. And that gives me a head start here now. So then I can go and pull back towards me and just stay as close to this little bloodline and the little pin section as you can. Right, so now this is gone, no worry about the bones, and then you have now two sections that are very, very pretty that are going to go into our ceviche. So we're going to go back to the other big piece, right, that's still together, and you can see this red bloodline going down the middle of the fillet. That's what we're working on, that's what we're getting out, and that's what has the pin bones in there. So that's why we turn it over. Now you can see on this side, same thing. Here's all the bones right here. So you're going to put your knife right up close to it, and then you're going to just pull towards you gently and go right through. Make sure it's separated all the way through. You can run your finger through it gently. Just make sure it's cut all the way through just to separate. And also too, don't worry if there's anything you see, little imperfections in the fish or the fillet, things that aren't quite perfect. We're going to cut it all for ceviche so you don't have to worry about it now. Same thing here. We're going to just go forward, and you can see how translucent it is. The light, the fillet of the fish lighting up inside when the sun hits it. It's super cool. Just go forward. See, now you can go open it up a little bit and help yourself, make it easier for yourself. Right. There you go. And ready for ceviche. So try to kind of cut it in the same segments, same sizes. If you want to make it easier for yourself, you can cut it in half. Alright, now you have two pieces. Now you have here the head, the shoulder. If there's any parts you don't like, you can get rid of them. There's a little blood on that one. You can turn it upside down. Just like to scalp it. Just take that little piece off. Again, we're saving all those pieces. Make soup, make stocks, add it to the ceviche if you really get hungry. Keep it going. So we're just going to cut this into strips. Right, nice kind of big chunks. And lay it down. And now with these strips, you can say, okay, well, what size, what pieces do I want my ceviche to be? If you want it to be smaller cubes, you can cut it in half again. Now you have two smaller strips. But the objective here is just to get it cubed up and ready to go. So I'm going to start going through it. I like to leave the cubes a little bit bigger because I want people to know that it was this really nice fish and not just like mulch it into a paste, you know? There we go. That's what it looks like. All right, very pretty, clean. So we just did the fish, we got it ready for ceviche. We're outside, we're in the backyard, you know, and we want to get it cleaned. Just a quick tip is, you know, just scalp a lemon. You can use it, go through, use it to clean your cutting board. You know, it's full of citric acid, it's got a little lemon flavor. You know, you're gonna cut some veggies and put it in a ceviche anyway. So, just a quick fix. Basically, what we have in here is we have a little bit of smashed celery, we have some Fresno red jalapeno, onion, garlic, ginger, cilantro, and some fresh lime juice. And we're gonna get that in the blender and go to town. That's it. Spicy, but it's good. All right, so basically, we're back. Fish is ready to go. Our little tiger's milk, tigres de leche, is good to go. And I'm gonna make right now just a little bit of garnish to toss to have with the ceviche. So we don't have to use all of it, you know, we made quite a bit. But I am going to hit it with some cracked pepper. I love cracked pepper and it's already spicy. And then this thing's gonna take a lot of salt. Then we're gonna stir it. And this thing's, it's gonna age. It's gonna get better and better. It's gonna get spicier. It's gonna get like more balanced out. So you can make it the night before if you want, or just make this and have it on tap. You can have it as salsa or anything, you know. Here's how it's gonna go down. We're gonna take this, we're gonna add it to our sheepshead. We're gonna add our onion that we made for garnish, kind of minced. We're gonna add our spring onion that we made. We're gonna add our cilantro, right? Make it pretty. Do a little more pepper over the top, because now we've added all that protein into it. A little more salt. It's gonna take 3 or 4 minutes for the fish to acidulate, they call it. All right, you wanna go fancy with it, then what we can do, you have your little lime, you go like this here, a little lemon, a little lime wheel, right? Beautiful. You do a little pinch, onion, garnish. There you go, that's a ceviche.